look, it's a little bit chilly, so we'll go ahead and close up that canopy pretty quick. Clear all the messages on our GPS. And we'll go ahead and have a little listen to the ATIS.
Clear below 2,000 feet. Visibility 10 kilometers. Viewpoint -6. Humidity 32%. Rainfall last 10 minutes nil. Newman, AWS aerodrome weather. Wind 230 degrees magnetic 7 knots. QNH 1016 hectopascals. Temperature 10. Cloud clear below 2,000 feet. Visibility 10 kilometers. Viewpoint -6. Humidity 32.
Cool, so there's no real considerations there for us. We are already tuned up onto Newman traffic. So just going through a quick radio setup here. So we're on area frequency, that's 123.4.
Contact me now on 122.4.
Traffic Newman, safe car 2 is vacated, runways, traffic Newman.
Newman CTAF 122.0.
There's a safety car running around. They usually do that every morning before the jets come in. And we can hear we're on Newman, of course. I do have ATIS on standby over here. We'll go ahead and just lead the frequencies, so we'll just be ahead of the aeroplane on the radio. So the next frequency I'm going to want on my primary is going to be 23.4, and the next frequency I'm going to want up here is going to be probably just 1267. There's going to be a few minor airfields we'll be flying over, so I can have a little listen to that on my secondary radio and just hear if there's anyone outbound. And having the two radios, it really helps where I can listen to other frequencies or other aerodromes that I'll be flying over, but not actually lose the primary frequency that I should be on, which is area. The aircraft is slowly warming up. The voltage is stable. Amperage is looking nice. T's and P's are all starting to warm up quite nicely. The oil pressure there is standard. The temperature is quite low. I'm only indicating 65, so we're going to have a little bit of a warm-up today. It's going to take a little while to get some temperature into the engine, because it is Sparrow's fart this morning. The duty runway today is going to be runway 23. As we just heard, the wind is 7 knots from 23. The departure is going to be an immediate left-hand turn, and we'll depart off of downwind. Today we're going right up to 8,500 feet. We'll head there direct, and we'll sit at 8,500 feet for about an hour and a half. Our distance to Karratha, we're looking at 268 nautical miles. We're expecting a fuel burn of only 58 litres. We'll probably be expecting closer to 60, but I mean 58, 60, that's already pretty close, right? So we'll be looking at 60 litres of fuel burn with a time on the route of 104 minutes. Call that an hour 45. So we're expecting a little bit of a headwind. I think we're going to have about 10 knots on the nose, up at 8.5. But it's going to be nice and cool up there and nice and stable. It looks like a good pocket of air, so we'll go ahead and accept it, and it should be nice flying with a little bit of luck. Well, I think while I'm waiting for this aircraft to warm up, I probably would add this second camera's functionality to the flight. for obviously maximum immersion of being able to look out the window and see pretty things. And we'll go ahead and delete some of the stuff that was from yesterday's flight. Have a little bit more room on the camera. Media available, that's okay. Are available there, cool, we'll unload the camera in flight. We will get that to a nice level attitude once we're airborne. Temperature is on the way up, we're through at 85 now. Reason I just want to be careful of the temperature when it is this low. When the temperature is this low, I'm going to go ahead and just turn around so we're not staring into the sun. But yeah, when it is this low, we can have a really high oil pressure. Temperatures being so low.
Operations, Newman CTAF, Kilo Bravo Oscar Alpha, Part Navy taxi runway 23, departure to the north, and we copied NetLink 1800. Station Newman, Kilo Bravo Oscar is entering backtracking 23. Albert Center, Kilo Bravo Oscar Alpha taxi.
Kilo Bravo Oscar, sit down.
Morning, Kilo Bravo Oscar Alpha, Part Navy taxi Newman for Newman via Fortescue Day Forest area work, 2 POB, runway 23, we've copied NetLink 1800. We'll go start the traffic.
Kilo Bravo Oscar, there's no additional south traffic.
Kilo Bravo Oscar.
NetLink 1800, copy Kilo Bravo Oscar, taxiing to the north.
Hey, firm, copied Kilo Bravo Oscar, thanks, NetLink 1800.
NetLink 1800.
Okay, so the engines run up quite nice. There is a IFR aircraft outbound, and it also looks like that there's a NetLink jet inbound. So we're going to be waiting around here for a little while. I don't think we'll be able to get out before the jet gets in. We will have a look. We might be able to do a taxiway departure. Oil temp is still only at 100 though, so I think we'll be waiting for a little while.
Kilo Bravo Oscar is running.
Unity 6520, left line level 3 departure.
806520.
Well, good morning. We are all started up and warmed up. Well, pretty much warmed up. We're at 115. There's a Part Navy that's IFR departure heading out ahead of us, and there is a NetLink jet somewhere in the area. Engine run-ups are all complete.
Velocity 9467, the only ride report I can give you at this stage is aircraft 100 miles.
And we're transmitting on COP 2. Let's just stop listening to COP 1.
Newman traffic, good morning, RV6 here, Juliet Victor is GA ramp taxiing to hold short runway 23. We'll be departing left-hand turn, tracking to the north, climbing 8,500, Newman.
RV6, Sierra Juliet Victor, just requesting location of that net jet that's inbound.
Oh gosh, you meant to be fucking better than that.
Newman CTAF 122.0.
Yes.
Airdrome lighting is on.
They just turned on the PAL, but they haven't made...
Newman traffic, good morning, Netlink 1800, 320 IFR, currently 25 miles south of Newman, 10,600 on descent, now tracking for a left base, runway 23, expecting a final time at 4-1 at runway 23 Newman.
Newman traffic, RV6, Sierra Juliet Victor is entering and backtracking runway 23. We have the net link there. Will you be your left-hand circuits there?
So is that for Netlink 1800 and Newman, mostly broken, unreadable. We'll be doing a left-hand base, expecting a left-hand base runway 23 at time 4-1.
Okay, because that jet's inbound, they're going to be setting up for a left base, so they're going to be heading out over there. What we're going to do is do a non-standard right-hand turn departure, and that means I'm just going to remove myself completely out of the situation that is that, you know, fucking God. We're just going to completely clear ourselves away from that aircraft. They're not going to hear us until we're airborne. They're 25 mile out. They're not going to hear a radio from an aircraft on the ground, so...
On station Newman, Kilo Bravo Oscar, Sparta 37, tracking 342 on climb 5000.
Newman traffic, RV6, Sierra Juliet Victor's rolling 23. We'll call in the air for that link. Newman.
Okay, let's go ahead and stand the power up. P's and P's all looking okay. And full power is applied, speed's alive. There's 60, hold the nose. Pause, wait, and accelerate. There's 80. 85, pick up the flaps.
Sierra Victor Julia, this is Netlink 1800. We're currently 11 miles to the south, now tracking for a left base runway 23 on base time 4-1 Newman.
Newman traffic, Sierra Juliet Victor copies that. We're making a right-hand turn tracking overhead the town of Newman, so I'll stay well clear of you. Climbing 8,500 tracking to the north, Newman traffic.
Copy, thank you, Netlink 1800, got in.
No problem, just sort of stay out of your way as much as I can.
Mate, I'll call you once we're on finals and out of your way, so you can come back. Sierra Juliet Victor, Kilo Bravo Oscar, about 1 mile to the east of town.
I'll be keeping an eye out for the Hunt Navy as well, yes, Sierra Juliet Victor. Newman traffic, the aircraft that is over the town. Now, what's your current altitude?
Kilo Bravo Oscar, we're about 1 mile to the northeast of town and passing 4,500.
Copy that, Kilo Bravo Oscar, I believe, Sierra Juliet Victor through 4,000 now. I'll keep an eye out for you, I'm tracking up to Calgary.
I don't know if that helps them or not. He's only a mile east, so they're like either right on top of me. Okay, so I've got the Airbus. I wouldn't think I'd catch up to that Parknavia this quick, but they are pretty slow compared to me, so there is every chance. That I have caught up to them. Yes, I'm showing you.
Newman traffic, Nellick 1800, currently left base, shortly turning final, runway 23 in Newman.
RV6, Sierra Juliet Victor is about 3 miles northeast of the township. We're tracking north-northeast, climbing 8,500, final call.
Cool, man. A little bit of action coming out of Newman there, but not a whole bunch. I've got about a 5-minute run until we're going to turn on track around to the left and just have a good look over the T's and P's. We're all looking okay. Oil pressure, oil temperature, amperage is all looking alright. We're lit up like a Christmas tree currently. Let's go ahead and get rid of the landing lights. Keep the strobes on for the time being. We can just start winding back a little bit of this mixture. And I'm through 6 for 8.5, another 2,500 to go. Really climb out like a rocket ship. I can basically be in a cruise climb, and the thing just hacks away. Awfully pretty morning. There's 6.5 for 8.5. Still indicating 120 knots, and we're still getting 700 foot a minute, and not even trying to climb hard. I could probably still be up at 1,000 foot a minute if I brought the nose up to 110 indicated, but I'm just going to give ourselves the best forward speed that we can. There's no real point going straight up here because I really going to gain much by going up a bit faster. Going to keep winding the mixture back just half a turn every few seconds.
Newman, traffic Nelly 1800, backtrack runway 23 in Newman.
We don't need to hear Newman anymore. Next airfield that we're going to be coming up past, going to be coming past one of these other mine sites. It's going to be 127.05. This means we're going to be able to monitor.
Kilo Foxtrot X-ray taxi.
Kilo Foxtrot X-ray, Melbourne Centre.
Kilo Foxtrot X-ray, fucking taxiing 3 POB runway 11 at Kalgoorlie for Tropicana.
Kilo Foxtrot X-ray, no reported IFR traffic.
Kilo Foxtrot X-ray.
Nelly 1800, landed Newman, cancel start.
Nelly 1800, Newman, Salvage terminated.
Nelly 1800.
Kilo Bravo, Oscar, contact me 128.15 with airwork details.
2815, Kilo Bravo, Oscar.
Take on November, leave file 310.
X-ray Kilo November.
Kilo Bravo, Oscar, maintaining 5000, we're for area work between Jimbata and Wodgina, block level 5000 to 6000, and request traffic for direct to Jimbata from present position.
Kilo Bravo, Oscar, no reported IFR traffic.
Kilo Bravo, Oscar.
Selling 1844.
Center velocity 93, 93, flight level 330.
Velocity 93, 93, Melbourne Centre.
And now, we're going to set ourselves up. See what we're going to get up, get across the ground here. Not expecting anything super fast because of this headwind. You can see there's a little bit of haze up ahead here. Looks like that's going to continue up a fair ways, so...
Velocity 93, 93, when ready, leave controlled airspace descending, area QNH 1017, no reported IFR traffic.
When ready, leave control area descending, no IFR traffic, QNH 1017, velocity 93, 93.
Go ahead and utilise the autopilot just a little bit here, just so we can get set up in flight, have a coffee.
Delhi 1844, contact me 122 days before.
122
Now go ahead and get the strobes off. And let's get ourselves leaned for cruise.
Delhi 1844, Melbourne Centre, leave controlled airspace descending, area QNH 1015, no reported IFR traffic.
And we're actually getting knockback ground speed at the moment, so we'll see if that changes. Getting 155 across the ground.
125.9, Yankee Kilo Golf.
Maybe getting slightly better than forecast, but we're not going to know how good. I've got that traffic 12 o'clock below us.
So
Kilo Golf, level 200.
Thank you, Kilo Golf, Melbourne Centre. When ready, leave controlled airspace descending. Area QNH 1015. No reported IFR traffic.
It's the Park Navier. They're 2,500 foot there below us. They're the guys.
Contact me 133.5.
They're the guys that were out of Newman that called us up just to let us know where they are. So that gives you an idea of how quick we are. Is they left probably a good 5 minutes before we departed, and I've already caught up with them, and I've flown a longer route than they did. They look like they've gone direct from Newman straight to here. These guys, they're probably doing aerial survey or something like that, where they're doing geological survey, but yeah, wow, look at this gorge down here. I don't know if the camera's going to show it, so I'm going to go ahead and take over the camera here. Just look forward of that wing there. There's this crazy gorge. Like some river's carved its way through the rocks there. Look at that, it looks amazing. Yeah, so I was hoping we would see some nice pretty stuff. We did this route here in the sim, and kind of hoping we'll be able to I'm kind of in fuel saving mode today, so because of the headwinds, I've just selected a slightly lower power setting than what we were in cruise the other day on the way here. So it's going to give me about 8.5 gallons an hour plus the return fuel, and I still am not quite fully leaned out. I've probably got another turn and a half.
No reported IFR traffic. Report leaving on 134.5.
Yeah, so this fuel flow here isn't counting the fuel return that comes back to the fuel tanks. So I'm actually, well, I'm probably burning only like 0.1 less than this, so I'm indicating 8.5 gallons an hour. I don't know what that is in litres right now. No, that is the wrong button. 8.5 by, what is it, divide by 1.52 or something? No, times 172, isn't it? I don't fucking know. Math is hard. Just switched over to a new area frequency, and that is going to be 12815. The next airfield is going to be Sandhills. We are approximately 2 minutes from being overhead Sandhills. We are just going to keep tracking along. Yeah, you'll see more of that gorge.
Kilo Foxtrot X-ray, Melbourne Centre.
Kilo Foxtrot X-ray, departing Cavalry, time at 5
Sorry, I got my finger in the way.
Passing at 7,700 on command flight level 250, CTH of Karratha time 38.
Off that left wingtip there.
Kilo Foxtrot X-ray, cleared to Tropicana, direct, command flight level 250.
This is my first time any further north than Newman here in Western Australia. I've never been further north. I've been up to Coral Bay, which is about in line with this. But this will be my first time I've seen Kalbarri or any of that coastline that's a little bit higher up. I'm just going to lean just to pick up peak EGT.
Whiskey Bravo Alpha Center, readability 2, say again.
Whiskey Bravo Alpha, we're maintaining flight level 170.
Whiskey Bravo Alpha, when ready, leave controlled airspace, descending, area QNH 1017, no reported IFR traffic.
I really just want to lean until the engine's running smooth, and it feels pretty happy there. Probably burning a little bit more fuel, but a couple of litres here or there isn't any real concern for us. To kind of pick out what our track is that we planned, one of the advantages that I'm already seeing from doing this in the sim is this is giving me that picture where there are a whole bunch of mountains off to my left and flat area here, and the sim has really showed me that, you know, being close to these mountains here is really smooth area, and a little bit over to my right it's a little bit more tiger country. There is a bit of a gap there with some lakes and stuff, but there's just this really nice line right along this side of the mountains where there's just smooth land, so you have room if anything goes wrong. It also happens to be where all the little airfields are. There's a railway line down there as well. It just feels like a nice, safer place to fly rather than tracking out over tiger country over there. So I've got lots of fields and availability to me if you know, your one engine in a single engine aeroplane starts getting a little bit unhappy. And we've slowed a little bit more with our heading change, so we're going more direct into the headwind, only getting 148 across the ground only. It's quite quick. All burning, yeah. So let's do it again now. So 8.7, 3.8, right? 33 litres an hour. We're getting 149, call it 150 knots for 33 litres an hour, and I'm still rich at peak. That's just the engine's happy running in the conditions today at this mixture setting. We'll have another heading change here in a second just to keep ourselves over that nice flat patch there. We'll go ahead and take it now.
Stations Kalgoorlie, amended TAF available. Kilo Foxtrot X-ray identified, verify level.
Kilo Fox X-ray, copy flight level 131.
Kilo Foxtrot X-ray.
And this is a bit of a privilege seeing the land up here. This is like proper untouched land, hey? There's a couple of little dirt roads that have been carved into the landscape, but away from those mines and everything else is this is proper untouched land. Bit of a privilege being able to do this, if I'm honest.
Delegate 26, Melbourne, Tenaga Day.
Just about coffee o'clock. Go ahead and have a cheeky coffee and enjoy the view.
Kilo Golf, level 200.
Thank you, Kilo Golf.
Get a 2950 with you, flight level 330.
Handling 2950, Melbourne, Tenaga Day.
Santa November Juliet Charlie, taxi.
November Juliet Charlie, Melbourne, Centre.
November Juliet Charlie, Alpha Samjet, taxis Lemont for Perth, runway 18, and we have 4 POB.
November Juliet Charlie, squawk 3244. IFR traffic is Yankee Kilo Golf for PC12. Inbound to X Mount via Learmont via the approximate 139 radial. We'll be on descent from flight level, and then we'll be tracking to X Mount. and no addition.
Copy, Yankee Kilo Golf and Scorpion 3244, November Juliet Charlie.
Yankee Kilo Golf, have you copied November Juliet Charlie?
Over, Yankee Kilo Golf. Delta Sergado, JetX9, 60 Delta, flight level 250.
JetX9 60 Delta, Melbourne Centre, good day. When ready, link controlled airspace descending, area QNH 1018, no reported IFR traffic.
When ready, lead control descending 1018, JetX9, 60 Delta. Delta 1616, landed Parapet, cancel salvage.
Delta 1616, Parapet, salvage, terminated.
Thank you.
Link 1690, contact me 128.15.
128, 15, that link 1690. Hello, Kilo Bravo, Oscar, someone in the area. Traffic for change of block 6,500.
Kilo Bravo, Oscar, no reported IFR traffic 6,500.
Kilo Bravo. Send it out link 1690, maintaining 350.
Link 1690, Melbourne Centre. When ready, link controlled airspace descending. Area QNH 1015. IFR traffic is Kilo Bravo Oscar, Partenavia, operating between Chimbarta and Fortescue Forest between 6,000 and 6,500.
When ready, leave control airspace on descent QNH 1015, copy traffic, Kilo Bravo Oscar and area of operation, Link 1690.
Kilo Bravo Oscar, IFR traffic is Link 1690, Fock 100, Christmas Creek from the south and circuit at 26.
Copy, Link 1690, Kilo Bravo. Link 1640, maintaining 5350.
Link 1640, Melbourne Centre.
Welcome back on board. We're just about to start, well actually I can just start seeing the coastline now. We're actually about 5 minutes from actually entering some airspace. Would you believe it, up here?
Just for headland. Off to the 835, bypass 100, currently 85, section 7 plug in, south through flight level.
Who's going to go ahead and just switch over to the left-hand tank?
Estimating headland and time 17. Check 35.
Go ahead and light ourselves up because we are entering some airspace here. So we're about 5 minutes away, 2 minutes from making a radio call here. So this is my first time in this Delta airspace.
Velocity 1720
This Delta airspace up here, so I'm probably going to just use some plain English and just ask the tower controller and just let him know I'm unfamiliar and pretty much do whatever the hell they want. Yeah, so we've got Delta airspace. We're currently in Class Echo, and in Australia, Class Echo is just a requirement to have a transponder, a Mode C transponder. So we're well and truly equipped for that. I can actually see that lake that I saw in the sim just over there to my right. It's kind of cool. That's where our inbound reporting point is. I'm just following this highway until we go ahead and track directly north. Now about a minute and a half from wanting to go ahead and make a radio call. So I'm going to switch over to Karratha Tower here, and we will just call them up, let them know we exist. I am visual actually, I can see...
1826, taxi to the bay.
Way to bay,
Are we climbing like our pilot? Where am I? At Woodbrook. Alright, let's go ahead and have a chat with these fine folk and see how we're going to get in there and figure it out from there.
Bravo.
Okay, Bravo's still current.
Karratha Tower, good morning. RV6, Sierra Juliet Victor.
Last call, just confirm that was Sierra Juliet Victor.
Affirm, Sierra Juliet Victor.
Sierra Juliet Victor, Karratha Tower, good morning guys.
Karratha Tower, Sierra Juliet Victor, currently 25 miles south of Woodbrook VFR point, 8,500. We're inbound for a full stop. For information, just unfamiliar with the field, so if there's any preferred altitudes and tracking, please let me know. Sierra Juliet Victor.
Sierra Juliet Victor, get direct Karratha on descent to 3,500, report approaching with your distance Karratha.
Go click down to 3,500, track direct to Karratha, Sierra Juliet Victor.
Sierra Juliet Victor, just your aircraft type and do you have an estimate for the field?
The van's RV6 and estimated time 20.
Sierra Juliet Victor.
Oh, so he just gave me direct. So I don't really need to go to that VFR reporting point. He just told me to turn and point straight at us, and he's cleared us down to 3.5. And well, that's actually probably going to be a pretty good time to descend. So I'm going to go ahead and just wind the power back here. He's asking what aircraft type we are, just because he wants to, they may not have, well, they definitely have radar coverage now, but he wants to know how quick we're coming in and how big of an aircraft he's looking for. So he's looking for a tiny little aeroplane that's going to move really fast, so it's going to change how he needs to deal with us. And he wants to know how quick we're getting there, which is obviously why he gave us a call. So descent checklist here. I'm not going to worry about the fuel pump. We're on the left-hand tank. We'll run the left-hand tank until landing. We're just looking for a nice 500 foot per minute descent. Everything else is looking okay here. We're lit up like a Christmas tree, and everything's looking okay. I didn't tell him I have information Bravo either. What about him? It looks like we're going to pick up a healthy dose of speed on the way down. Yeah, holy crap, 170 knots. Alright, so yeah, a little bit of a headwind we had on the way here. I was only grounding at about 150, but coming down the hill here pretty quick. I'm already indicating I'm 40 mile from Karratha, and I'm 12 minutes, indicating about 12 minutes from hitting the airfield. So yeah. It's one of the things with this aeroplane, it's so deceptively fast, you just don't notice. You look out the window and you go, oh yeah, I'm moving along like a GA plane, but doing 170 knots, you have to think about when you get to the actual airfield, because even indicating 140 knots on downwind, you just can't believe the speed back. So my usual speed on downwind is 120 knots. unless I'm on the really early downwind. If it's a really early downwind, yeah, sure, I'll handle coming in with speed. It's a difficult aircraft to slow down, and the flap limitation is really quite slow, so you can't even just throw the flap out and have the thing slow you, have the flap slow you down. So as an aircraft, you have to think a little bit ahead of yourself, especially when you get to busy airspace. Like heading into Jandakot, where there's lots of traffic, you got to slot yourself into 152s. 152s are downhill, they're doing 90 knots, where this thing I'm nearly doing double their speed, and so it can really catch you out. Really catch you out if you're not ahead of the aeroplane. Through 6.5 for 3.5. We're just going to just ease up this descent. We're just going to manage it so we can get to 3.5, about 5 mile from the airfield. Just gives us a little bit of time to configure, and it gives the guy a bit of a chance to figure out where we are in the world. So. Pretty up here. See that headland that we saw in the simulator, the way it kind of snakes away off and to the right there, and we know from the sim, like what a resource the sim is I already know where to look for the airfield. I know it was difficult to see in the sim due to the terrain around it, the towns ahead of it, but I can actually see those locks. It looks like they're actually water locks that we saw in the sim. I thought they might have been for grain, but it looks like they're full of water. Is 6, and now we're showing 10 minutes away. Actually picked up about 10 minutes of time. I wasn't expecting to be on the ground until 8:30. Slightly ahead of schedule, which is nice for a change. I can really see those lines in the ground there in that bay area. There might be like oyster farms or maybe even fish farms. But I know that's the end of the runway where we're heading to, so doing this in the sim is really helping. I'm actually starting to pick up what looks like hangars and stuff. The sun isn't too reflective there on the right hand lane. But we can see that northern Western Australian coastline. Go ahead and just have a listen.
Runway 08, wind variable. Cargo okay. Temperature 20, QNH 1013. First contact with Karratha ground or tower, notify the seat of Bravo.
The Bravo is still current.
Karratha terminal information Bravo, runway 08, wind variable. Bravo okay. Temperature 20, QNH 1013. First contact with Karratha ground.
We are all up to speed with the weather here at Karratha. 4.5 or 3.5, another 2 minutes, we'll call them up. In 2 minutes I will be around 15 miles to the south. We're expecting landing on runway 08, so I'll just go ahead and bug 08, just so I know what way I'm turning. So we're expecting a right-hand circuit, so we'll be joining pretty much on the 45 for a downwind. There'll be a right downwind for runway 08, and should be relatively simple. See how we go. Just keep bringing in this mixture. A little bit of aileron trim to help me out. We're 4 for 3.5. There's that bit that looks like a runway, but it's actually not. It's 3,500. A little bit of prop. Yeah, about 15 miles. I'll wait until 10 miles south and then I'll call it up. Okay, visual with the field. Let's see how he is. We're actually going to be able to land on the runway we landed on in the sim. That's kind of nice. I was expecting 2-3, so I set the camera up on the other side. So what I might do in this action. Let's go ahead and have a chat with our friendly air traffic controller.
Karratha Tower, RV6 Sierra Juliet Victors, 10 miles south, 3,500.
Sierra Juliet Victor, thanks, clear the visual approach. And we're ready, track 4 report on all right base runway 08.
Sierra Juliet Victor. We also have the Bravo, we're clear visual approach and we'll position for a right base runway 08 full stop. Sierra Juliet Victor.
Sierra Juliet Victor, thanks, information Charlie, just recorded now, the QNH 1014, wind southerly at 4 knots.
Thanks for the update, Sierra Juliet Victor, we'll call base.
I was like, what the fuck does he actually want me to do? And I was like, oh, okay. So I was expecting a downwind, but he's actually, because I'm so far out, he's just positioning me for a right base. So I'm visual with the field. So we're going to go ahead and just pull ourselves over here. And clear visual approach means I'm now clear to descend. There's no actual altitude issued. It's just going to be circuit height. Circuit height here is going to be 1,000 feet. So I'm just going to start winding the power back.
Karratha ground, good morning, November Lima Tango.
November Lima Tango, good morning.
November Lima Tango, IFR 139, helicopter at Babcock 4, Lowendale on the 272 at 4,000. We have 13 POB and pursuit of Bravo requesting taxi and airways.
Wow.
November Lima Tango, cleared Lowendale 4,000, taxi line up, taxiway Foxtrot, parallel to 08.
Cleared Lowendale 4,000, taxi to line up Foxtrot, parallel 08, November Lima Tango.
Must be one of the giant choppers that head out to the oil rigs, 13 on board. And just heard there in their calls that, yeah, so they're using that parallel runway.
Rapid ground helicopter, Papa X-ray, good morning.
Holy crap.
Grand, good morning.
Papa NW139 for the Wandoo platform 2500 with 8 POB and receipt of Charlie. Request taxi and airways, power assurance on line up.
Okay, I understand you now, you're busy.
Tracker, clear to the Wandoo, not over 2500, taxi hold short, taxiway Foxtrot.
Cleared Wandoo, not above 2500, taxi hold short of taxiway Foxtrot. Papa X-ray,
This might be cool. We might get to see some choppers departing as we're short final. From 2,000 for 1,000. Look at this out here. I'd love to know what these, maybe the sand mines or something? Salt mines even?
Karratha, November, Lima Tango's, we'll be reading a line on taxiway Foxtrot 0.
Lima Tango's got a van tracking from the south-east for a right base for runway 08. Depart from the downwind leg, cliff takeoff, make a left turn.
Depart downwind, cliff takeoff, left turn, copy the traffic, November, Lima Tango.
I'm going to open up this base just so I give that IFR helicopter a little bit more room. Also gives me a little bit more room because I'm still descending.
And ground Papa X-Echo, you happy for us to do the power assurance where we're sitting now?
Fox Tracker, yeah, it's approved.
Thanks.
Coming down to 1,000. Speeds at 120. And now we're looking good. We'll just set a pretty low RPM here. Mixture up, we're at 1,000.
Sierra Juliet Victor's a wide right base, 08 or so.
Sierra Juliet, Victor, runway 08, cleared to land.
Cleared to land, Sierra Juliet Victor.
Probably pissing him off because I'm giving him too much information, but it is what it is.
Power transfer plate.
Fox Tracker, line up, taxiway Foxtrot.
Line up, taxiway Foxtrot, Power Tracker.
Alright, let's go ahead and bring the power back, start slowing it down. And brakes checked, undercarriage is down a bolted mixture. We'll go ahead and bring it up a little bit more. Hatches, harnesses, I'm secure. Aircraft secure. And these coming back nicely. There's 105.
Tracker, the 139 heads tracking out to the west from the downwind leg, taxiway Foxtrot, cliff takeoff, make a left turn.
Cliff takeoff, taxiway Foxtrot.
And we're turning
Power Tracker, copy traffic.
Yeah, I can see that. Another
November, Lima
helicopter.
Tango, we're visual with the traffic inbound from the southeast.
This is another
November,
helicopter
Tango.
started up. It's crazy. We've got a puppy. How nice. Alright, well, we're just going to fly the aircraft down. Not going to configure just yet because we're on quite a long final. See, this is a little different to...
Karratha, November Lima Tango, we've made a left turn, departing on downwind on climb 4000.
We got that traffic just straight ahead.
November Lima Tango, thanks for report maintaining.
Okay, November Lima Tango.
And the other one is off to our left, way up high. There's Bristow helicopters by the looks of it. And landing clearance is already given.
Karratha Tower, helicopter, X-ray uniform, Victor with inbound.
There's flaps 20.
X-ray uniform, Victor, Karratha Tower.
G'day again, X-ray uniform, Victor.
Go ahead and stand the proper way up. There's those power lines.
Miles on the 073 radial. 1,500 feet received. Charlie 1 POB in circuit to 8.
X-ray uniform, Victor, quick Karratha, direct number 1,500, report 5 miles Karratha.
Direct Karratha, number 1,500, report 5 miles. X-ray uniform, Victor.
I was going to fly the aircraft all the way down. Was going to try and get off nice and early, but we're okay.
Julie Victor, backtrack is approved and taxi to parking.
Backtrack approved and taxi to parking. Thanks, Sierra Juliet Victor. Just for information though, where's the GA gate?
Apologies, be straight ahead on Bravo, and then once you hit the main apron, make a right turn and to the end there, and then a left, and you'll be to be coming up on your left-hand side.
Perfect, I think I can see it here. Thanks for that, Sierra Juliet Victor. November Lima Tango maintains 4000.
November Lima Tango, thanks for report 16 miles.
November Lima Tango.
Here we go. Yeah, and all those giant fucking helicopters over there. Cray. Let's go ahead and get the mixture back. Okay, so we're all standby.
Okay, maintaining 2,500.
Off, autopilot's off. Straight ahead, check right.
X-ray echo, 18 miles, frequency change approved.
Check left.
18 miles, frequency change, prepare X-ray echo.
I reckon I can see where that gate is.
Right, Tower Velocity 1723 Alpha 737 with 40 DV on the 204 radial. 10,000.